Hello and welcome back to Save the Homeless. Thank you so much for those currently supporting our so-needed counter-narrative to save the homeless, get back their lost human rights and end the political shame. The Financial Review reported that the cost per homeless in 2022 on average was $186,000 per homeless person. Now, for a mere $63,000, we can supply and erect a 2-bedroom home fully furnished with air conditioning. We've got an off-grid version with solar power, battery storage and diesel generator backup, water tank, septic tank for $78,000. Now, that same home can be delivered to the United States, would cost $41,000 US and off-grid $52,000 US. In the United Kingdom, would cost £32,000, off-grid £41,000, fully furnished with air conditioning. The off-grid versions with their solar power, battery storage and diesel generator backup can be put anywhere. They're not relying on a particular piece of land. Now, our solution is a no-brainer. We've been told we're 5 years ahead of our time and keep getting pushed away by the bureaucrats and politicians. Now, assuming the government makes a claim that the funding simply is not available due to the humanitarian efforts requiring them to send billions of dollars overseas to proxy wars and climate change, can be privately funded with a 7% return to the investor. Incidentally, these homes will be movable, so they can be relocated at any time. They're not permanent. They're just on a piece of land and can be relocated. The model, though, requires one simple thing. That's for the government to open up land, and they've got land in abundance. So there's absolutely no excuse. The state government needs to relinquish the suitable housing lots to the local and regional government councils who are closest to these people needing the housing. They know what's happening in their own regions. The Attorney General needs to have the State Planning Commission identify any land labelled lazy land, such as a small corner lot that's not suitable for a commercial sale, but it's going to be perfect for a 36 square metre home to be put on it. There's little corner lots and so on everywhere. The Planning Commission also needs to identify land that's been earmarked for road expansion or rail expansion, land that's no longer required for the use of that, and that can be relinquished to the local and state government councils for the purpose of building these movable homes. Now, as these homes will be specifically for the use of building homes for the homeless, they need to be numbered, registered just like any other motor vehicle or caravan, and would be solely for the use of these people in crisis. Now, they know who they are, so it's going to be quite straightforward. This would eliminate the potential B&B scams as well. Now, the councils would also be required to lift the time restrictions they have on these caravan-like homes where they're movable, so they're on the site for a certain period of time. They need to be made so they can be long-term. Now, in a nutshell, the state government needs to relinquish the responsibility of the homelessness to the regional councils who are in touch with these local homeless people, in touch with the churches who are desperately looking after them, keeping them alive. They need to take the problem on and let them solve it. Now, in my upcoming counter-narrative series of podcasts I'm doing, you'll witness our sustainable movable home solution that enables a weekly rental of $51 per week. You'll witness the gross inefficiency and ineffectiveness of our governments. They ridiculously get into exorbitant high-rise apartment solutions, and they want to integrate our homeless into these solutions while not taking the recommendations of feasibility studies. And these reports blatantly advise them not to put homeless in multi-rise apartments. It creates ghettos and they don't assimilate, but they go ahead and do it anyway. Now, our solution needs to be presented to the Attorney General of every state in every country around the world so that we can give the homeless back their lost human rights, we can house them, and we can end this political shame. The Type 4 invisible homeless need to be housed immediately so the Type 1 street numbers, the ones that Joe and Russell refer to, they don't continue to rise because it's inevitable. That's where they come from Type 4 to Type 1. I urge the likes of Joe Rogan, Russell Brand, Elon Musk, Tucker Carlson, Dan Bongino, Charlie Kirk, Benny Johnson, and others to get behind this and get these letters out to every state attorney general so they can give the homeless their lost human rights back and we can end the political shame. Jump on our website, savethehomeless.world, and download the Attorney General letter, and together let's get on this mission and turn homelessness around. If you've got a story that you want to share with us, please email me on help@savethehomeless.world. Thanks again to our philanthropists and partners for helping me on this great cause. Please subscribe to our channel for a mere $9.90 a month And in appreciation, receive one of our 2 glorious 10 easy recipe books called The Family Dining Experience. And for those with double income, no kids, you can download the Think Dining Experience. Each month they're different. Each month we're also including a bonus recipe packed with nutritious vegetables created especially for our elderly folks. They struggle to put a nutritious meal together and they simply rely on a simple solution like a packet soup just to get by. Now these meals can be frozen so you can cook up a big batch, throw them in their freezer. They're going to love you for it. And you know they're getting good nutrition. My goal is for every 10,000 subscriptions to enable us to purchase a movable home and house a homeless family sleeping in their car. Your small monthly subscription can enable this to happen. To see how serious I am about homelessness, jump on my website, savethehomeless.world, download and share my song, Does Anyone Care? It's with my band called The Net.
I close my eyes. I hope that I'll wake again. I sleep alone in silence. I wake alone in silence. If I even wake at all, does anyone care? Anyone care?
Together we can put a huge dent in the homeless numbers, and with your support, together we can initiate the much needed changes. Jump on our website, savethehomeless.world, download the Attorney General letter, hit the subscribe button, get your free downloads. Join us on X, formerly Twitter, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Instagram, Rumble, and TikTok. See you next podcast.